Welcome back to the final round of the North Europe event. And if you checked out my video yesterday, it was very tough in opening round. And it got even tougher with the final four races in opening round as well. And it continues today with the same struggles. So we've done 12 races over opening and final round. And we've resulted in 9 human players who were all max double boosted accounts. So it's been tough. But so far this morning, we've got 47, 47, a 45 and a 47. Couldn't do anything, max account, double boosted in race number 3. But we did manage to share the spoils with 45 points. So that's our podium potential probably out the way. But we're going to try and just score as much as we can. So let me know how you're getting on. And we're going to kick it off with race number 5 and Hungary. So welcome to Hungary and my first decent matchup for a while. We've got 2.6 miles of track ahead of us. And McLaren most wins at the Hungaroring with 11, with Lewis Hamilton taking 7, who is the current win record holder. And did you know, only 44% of winners come from pole position. So it's a good job we're starting in P2 and for P3 today and not P1. So that might, you never know, come in our favour. So we're going to start off with Downforce and Herald for our first race, showing you we're going to stick both drivers onto the softs, doing a 4 and a 4. And as a WF1 gets his video underway when the lights go out. And Lewis Hamilton, can he get a good upside of Max Verstappen? And Max Verstappen goes to the outside. It's a sandwich. And it's a sandwich that we almost had for dinner. But Max Verstappen gets in now to P1 and P2. So we're already array here. And hopefully this is a nice, easy race to score 47 points in as we settle down. Big race indeed. We're clutching at straws. We're not going to finish. We might not even finish top 10 today. Bearing in mind we've already dropped 2 points. If you didn't check out my final round last week, I scored 376 points, which is a max score. But it was only good enough for 6th because of a poor opening round. So it is costing me at the moment not being a max account myself, but we're working as hard as we can to get that done. So the game seems a bit jolty at the minute. We're going to try and hope that we don't get a DC or anything like that. As Lewis comes around, and who remembers last year, or even was it the year before, where Lewis started the race on his own when everybody else decided to pit for some different tyres. That was one of the best things I've ever seen. One of the most surreal things I've ever seen. And it was absolutely brilliant to watch. So Hamilton continues, and we're going to start off lap 4. We're going to put in a medium boost now, get him a gap between Max Verstappen. And we can come back for the softs, so let's do that. We're not in any danger of people behind. And what's the gap? 3 seconds so far. So we're going to push up Verstappen as well, bring him back for the mediums on the Herald. And the gap now 3.5. So we can push Lewis. And we can start to push Max Verstappen very shortly as well. So we'll push him from there. 3.8 is the gap. And it's another 5 seconds back from Verstappen to 4th as Lewis comes in. So quick stop needed here. Make sure we don't double stack. Cause yourself any issues. And it is a perfect stop for AZW. What about Max Verstappen? He comes out in P2 and he's absolutely fine as well. He's got a nice gap to P3 and P3 has gone on the mediums. So this downforce, corners, grit, tyre management. We've got Herald, which is great for acceleration, pushing a bit harder with fuel as well and got the overtake. So good boost to use on this track. And now Lewis starting lap 6. It's a nice relaxing race for the first time in a long while. And I wish I could bring you the hard matchups. I don't want them, but I'm sure you want to watch me battle it out. As we do have around 2 laps left, 2.5 laps. And again, we're ruining the percentage win rate from pole. Because today, pole position won't be winning this race. And instead, we're going to hopefully hit a 1-2 beside any dramas. So Hamilton has Latifi and Albon, the Williams pair behind us. I'm glad we're ahead of them. You never know what's going to happen between them. They're absolutely going tooth and nail. Look at them go. Look at the Williams on the outside. Oh, they're coming through. Oh, he's got it. Who was that? Who went wide? It was Latifi losing out to Albon there. That's how much fun this race has been. We're commentating on a Williams battle at the back of the grid. So let's boost it. Let's finish off this first race. And thank you so much for yet again watching the videos, watching our weekend GPs. And I hope that you're continuing to pick up the strategies that I follow every single week. Let me know if you like the stats at the start of the video as well. Trying something different, a bit fresh. Trying to bring your knowledge up on the F1 tracks as well. So do let me know if that is something you do enjoy, as Lewis Hamilton crosses the line, 24 points in the bag. And so does Max Verstappen. He finishes P2. And for the first race that we're showing you of race 5, it is 47 points. Race 6, and it couldn't last for long with the matchups. We're back to another Max account, and we're at Imola for a 19 turns, 3 mile track. Michael Schumacher having the most wins with 7, and Ferrari have the joint most wins with 8 wins. But can you guess who the other joint constructor is of most wins in Imola? I'll give you till just before lights out. Have a think in your head, who is the joint winner with Ferrari for most wins at Imola? So let's set out the boost. We're going to go Kawhi on here. And on Hamilton, we're going to push for a Street Shark, overtaking speed and time management. And it's a human player as well. So just to add to the fun, guys, we now have a human Max account again. So make that too many for me to count. 10, I think it is now. So here we go. And the constructor is Williams, if you didn't know already. So double boosted rival using the same boost as us. And we get off to an okay start. We're into P3, we're into P4. So we're not doing too bad. And Max Verstappen up the inside. And it's time to ruin the party a little bit. Can we just ruin this guy? And if he's going 47s, which I don't know obviously at the moment, let's just see if we can't give him a bit of hassle with his Max account. So we come round in P2. And the rival should only really be going 3 laps maybe on that Street Shark. He can push for 4, but it's not the quickest route, I don't think, on that tyre. And what about Lewis Hamilton? Let's try and keep Lewis Hamilton ahead of Verstappen. That is absolutely key, as he's on the soft tyres. We don't want to get held up. And what about the rival? Rival into the pits on lap 2. Won't be probably doing any servicing. Yep, coming straight back out. Let's try and see if we can not get past him here. And he's a bit too far, but we are ahead. So let's continue through. And we're going to start to boost Lewis Hamilton in a minute. And us are going to probably stick the mediums on here as well. And now we'll boost Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis Hamilton starts to push. And hopefully we can close the gap. That Kawhi working well. And the rivals into the pits with P2. So, key moments here. Can we get ahead of this rival? Yes, we can. I don't think he took servicing. But Max Verstappen will come back out. Lewis Hamilton passes. And now we are P2, P3. So, we'll bring Lewis in at the end of this lap. And hopefully we don't hold each other up too much. Lewis looks like he's doing a decent job there. And he's still pushing forward. No holding up at all. Max looks a bit quicker. And that's fine. So Lewis comes in to the pits. And what about Max? Max will continue now, closing down the rival. This is a great little battle we've got here. Good team battle. And what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to close this gap to the leaders. Because we can only do 3 to 5. We're right at the back of P1 now. And we are through into the lead. Oh, wow. And that glitched back through. I don't know how we didn't take the lead there. Because on my screen, we were ahead. So I don't really know what happened there. Suddenly, he glitched back ahead. And Lewis Hamilton comes round, still closing that gap. And the rival goes wide, and we're back into the lead. So we're back into P1. Lovely little battle this is with Raptu. Fantastic inter-team battle. And can we get a clean entry to the pits? We can, but we might just lose out here by the rival pitting in the next box. So we're probably going to lose out. Double stack slows us down. And I tell you what, Lewis Hamilton into comfortably P3. And he's chasing after the rival. We haven't got the tyre management for that though. And Lewis Hamilton really getting bogged down there. But we're going to hold as long as we can with Lewis, which I don't think is going to be very long. So it looks like we could cost the rival a point here, because I don't think Lewis is going to keep this lead of P4. And there you go, so slow Lewis through there. That was horrible, horrible lap, as Max looks like he's going to finish P2 and the rival not pushing himself as we come into the wrong camera. And it looks like just a P4 and 2 for us in Imola. We've pushed it as hard as we could, and it looks like we got P3. We're up to P3. We're struggling on tyres. Max Verstappen, he looks like he could run out of fuel here. We're going to try and keep Hamilton in the lead. Verstappen survives. And what about Lewis? He's only got 2% tyres. He looks like, I think we're about to lose out to the rival down the straight. He's run out of fuel as well. And we have got P2 and P3. What a race. 45 points. And that was absolutely solid. Fair play, great race. Just quickly look at what we're dealing with. We've got the same drivers, but the car is just a maxed out car. And we are struggling with a level 6 and level 7. Abu Dhabi is up next, and thankfully no max account here. We've got 21 corners to get at. And did you know, win from pole percentage, 54.55% here in Abu Dhabi. Mercedes, most wins with 7. And it won't surprise you to say that Lewis Hamilton has the most wins himself with 5 in Abu Dhabi. So let's settle down and hopefully we can get some good starts here. We're going firework and dead fast is the breakfast of today's running. And here we go in Abu Dhabi, 29 degrees of pure bliss, hopefully. And we're about to kick this off. Max Verstappen P2. Hamilton should probably get a bad start in P3. Wouldn't surprise me if he sticks to the inside, which he does. That always usually is the case, but he does the old switcheroo, and his own clone of Lewis Hamilton sees that one coming and defends well. So with P1 and P3 off the start, Max Verstappen has absolutely lit up them fireworks, and he looks like he's got one coming out the back of his car because he's absolutely flew away. And Lewis Hamilton on that dead fast, committing to dead fast, and he's now into P2 ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who is on them soft tyres. So looks like when we don't get a max account, it turns into a pretty comfortable race. When we do get a max account, it's usually a human, and it's a heavy racing to the wire, which makes it fun. But for a GP where you need to score max points and points equal prizes, it's not very fun when it comes to Monday rewards. But you never know where we'll finish. Maybe top 20 this week is the order that we're going to finish in. But never mind, it is what it is. You can't win them all. We just got to keep doing the best we can. So Max Verstappen will be coming into the pits this lap. He's going to come back for some soft tyres. We're going to boost him through this phase. And Lewis Hamilton will be boosting halfway through. We're going to boost him through this section. Get him a nice big exit through here. There you go. Cut him down. Verstappen coming into the pits now. And he'll do nose servicing. And dead fast, because it gives us that extra little tyre boost, we can now push Lewis Hamilton whilst Lewis Hamilton comes into the pits. Is it confusing yet? Because it is for me. So Verstappen comes out ahead of Lewis. And just to talk you through the boosts very quickly, we've got Lewis Hamilton dead fast, fuel, tyre management and some great speed. And we've got Max Verstappen overtaking speed and also the acceleration from the firework boost as well. 2 good boosts to use in Abu Dhabi. And because we've got fuel left, I'll usually go a 4-4 with the mediums, but I'm just going to stick on the hards. Because why not? We're going to fall behind. Well, we're not. They're going to pit. So we're going to come out. That extra lap, guys, that we stayed out with Lewis Hamilton, and look at the gap. We've managed to pull on the 3 seconds over Lewis Hamilton by staying out a lap longer. That was the key to that move, and it's knowing when to undercut or overcut. So Max comes in from P1, and we're just going to stick on the softs and conserve. So Lewis Hamilton will probably end up winning this race, but we're not too fussed who wins, although you at home might have a preference to Max or Lewis. So you might not like the order of team instructions here. But let's see what happens. Lewis all over the back of Max now, and he goes into the lead. And Max tries to fight it, but cannot at that point. So in race number 7, Lewis coming around the final sections to start, 2 laps to go. Rival in the pit, so we're going to lap the rival with both cars, showing the rival how it is well and truly done here in Abu Dhabi. As Lewis comes out in P22, he will definitely not be used to being that low on the grid, that is for sure. And we've got 1.5 laps to go. Lewis gets a good entry through there. Verstappen takes the scenic route, almost going for a picnic and a bit of a safari park watching out there in the middle of nowhere. But Lewis is starting the last lap. That's why these hards are actually pretty good. That's a poor corner. Very well timed for Lewis there. But that's why these tyres are good. If you're using dead fast, you've saved the fuel, you can just keep boosting all the way. It's going to be hard for any rival to catch up with you, especially on a quicker tyre, but less durable. So coming into the last part of the lap, sector 3, Max Verstappen put on the afterburners now, trying to chase down Lewis Hamilton. But it's not going to be enough. Lewis Hamilton will take victory in Abu Dhabi. A bit of sweet revenge over Max Verstappen. And 47 points. Very nicely received here in the Abu Dhabi. Another Max account for Bahrain. And will it be another human? But we'll look at some stats ahead for you. Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel have the most poles combined, or jointly I should say, in Bahrain with 3 apiece. Ferrari with the most wins at 7. But did you know McLaren have never won at Bahrain? And also Kimi Raikkonen has had 8 podiums at Bahrain, but has never won. So some interesting little facts of information there for you. Some surprising ones for me as well. Do we have a human player? Is it a Max human player to finish off this final round? Here we go. I think it's not, because they're on hard tyres and no boosts, so we hopefully will be able to pick up the pieces. And look at that. If you are not using the launch boost trick at the start, you are 100% missing out. We are straight into the lead, P1 and P2. And now we'll cut the drivers down. So to give you a guide, Hamilton has got Jean, which is grip, cornering and blocking. Max Verstappen has got the downforce, cornering, grip and tyre management. It's a grip track. It's not a speed track at all here in Bahrain. So it's one that you do want to pick the cornering and grip boosts, because it will benefit you more than speed. So one to just keep an eye out there, guys. It's in my track guide. If you haven't watched all my track guides, what are you doing? Go and check them out. Some insane strategies are available. So the rival gets me through there, but we're on a different strategy. We're going to let it go, as they say in one of the famous films. I'm not going to name it. You can name it if you want to. But we come round to start lap 3, and we're going to bring in Lewis Hamilton. And we're shortly going to start boosting. And what we got? We've got 6.5 seconds to the rival's second car on the hard. We don't want to fall behind on the hard, so we're going to boost a little bit. Let's clear out the way of that hard tyre. We don't want to lose any ground, and we don't want to get caught up in sections of the track where we cannot overtake. So Lewis Hamilton, straight in the pit, 67% tyre management, car servicing left. So that is beautiful. And out he comes to do another 2 laps on the softs. Max Verstappen, final lap on mediums on the downforce. and the rival's gone to hard tyres, so we should have a significant pace advantage here, and we should be able to secure a final 1-2 of the final round, and we will certainly put this weekend behind us. It has been so tough, and when you get in 11, 12 max accounts out of 16 races through opening round and final round, there's only so much you can do. And we've took points. I enjoy the races so much as we lag everywhere. I do enjoy the big fights with our rivals. So just imagine if there's so many people playing this game, all we would ever do is face rivals, humans, and that would also change up the scores instead of it always being bots and being like this. This is a bot in this race, and it's a pretty easy 1-2 off the line, especially using hard tyres in Bahrain. But if it was humans throughout there, God, it would be a different kettle of fish when it comes to max scoring. I'd be very surprised to see anyone max score with so many human races. So lap 6, and Lewis Hamilton just lapping the field with Tsunoda ahead of him, and Max Verstappen not too far behind on the mediums. So 2 strategies that are both in my track guide here as well. But at the minute, we've got 2 laps to go, and this weekend is over with. I don't know why we're just trying to lag so much. It's not great. But we come down to start 2 laps to go. We can start pushing Max Verstappen if we wanted, but we don't really need to just yet. He's not in any danger of that hard tyre in P3. It's going to be so slow. But we will start boosting shortly, just for a bit of fun. So maybe about now for Max Verstappen. And we're just going to pull away from this account who's in P3 and P5. And this Max account is definitely has been avoided for a potential banana skin of a matchup. I think where I am at the game at the minute, guys, I just need to keep grinding Series 12 and unlock as max as we can, with just 2 parts left to max out, or 3 including Norris, and then it is done and dusted. And then hopefully we can battle these max accounts fair and square. So as Lewis Hamilton comes across the line, he wins, and then Max Verstappen will come along in P2. So 47 points secured in the final race, and Lewis Hamilton just giving up position to Max there, P3 and P4. And that is done and dusted here in Bahrain. Let's see where that leaves us as we come back to the main menu. So that will leave us with 4 points dropped, I think, potentially. 372, 4th place. The 2 human double boosters that we couldn't get past cost us race 3 and race 6. But in the end, we will probably drop out of the top 6 and probably move into the top 20. But hopefully, you've enjoyed the racing. And as always, I will see you in the next one.